Welcome back, Tater Tuds, to my channel for a new episode of the K-Drama Legacy Generation 1 Fisherman's Daughter Episode 4. So, as is usual, let's review some of the new characters that we've met so far. So first is Miss Yamada, who is one of the vendors at the local fish market, and then there is her grandson, Do-hwan, and he's a bit of a rebel and likes to do things his own way, but he still respects his grandma a lot and has a tender heart, though he doesn't really like to let it show. Now, in recap, in the last episode, Yoonah went to the fish market with her mom and ended up running into Do-hwan, who, come to find out, was supposed to be asking her out on a date, courtesy of their family setting them up. So the two of them met up later for their pretend date, and they've agreed to be friends since they have similar situations with their families trying to butt into their love life and such. So we also came to find out that Yoonah's mom is once again trying to plan a date for her with someone else, and that is where it leads us to the start of today's episode. The sun was shining, the seagulls were flying high, and the day promised to be another scorcher. Today was the day I had planned to have both Min and Do-hwan meet. Min had said she had some errands to run and would meet up with us in a bit, so Do-hwan and I had been taking our sweet time making our way to the beach. He was literally playing 50 questions, asking me all sorts of things about Min. Thankfully, it didn't last long. Up ahead, I saw Min waiting near the shack on the beach. I stopped and looked over at Do-hwan. That's her! I waved my hand in the air to catch her attention. Do-hwan's mouth dropped as his gaze landed on her. That's your friend? I looked at him a bit puzzled and nodded my head. Finally, he looked back at me. She's freaking gorgeous! Where have you been hiding her all this time? I rolled my eyes. Nowhere. She's always been here. With that, I walked forward, him trailing not too far behind. Min smiled at me and quickly made eye contact with Do-hwan. I knew exactly what she was doing. She was sizing him up, making her judgment call. She would tell me all about it later. So, you're Do-hwan, are you? I'm Min. Nice to meet you. Do-hwan looked dumbstruck for a moment. I had to keep myself from laughing. He seemed like such an overly confident guy most of the time, but here he was, looking lost. Oh, that's me, Do-hwan, at your service. The three of us made our way down towards the shore, chatting along the way. Min and Do-hwan seemed to be getting along quite well, so I was definitely pleased. Of course, Min gets along with almost everyone. She's always been the outgoing type, so it really came as no surprise. While I liked just the two of us hanging out, I had to admit, it was refreshing having someone new with us. Do-hwan was kind of like a breath of fresh air and comic relief. Just as we were starting to make plans to head to the cafe to hang out, Mom suddenly sent me a message asking me to run to the market to pick up a few extra ingredients for dinner. I told Min and Do-hwan to head on without me and that I'd catch up with them in a bit. Besides, this gave them some time to be alone. After all, it was obvious that Do-hwan was super into her. I raced off quickly in the direction of the marketplace. The streets were bustling, filled with everyone out on their lunch breaks. With these kinds of crowds, I didn't want to be out too long since the lines would be out the door. Best to get it done quickly. I was heading down a side alley when I heard someone yell, "Hey!" I turned to see who it was and gasped. Out of nowhere, a guy raced up to me, forcing my back against the wall of a nearby building. I had no idea who he was. I'd never even seen him before. His gaze was intense. I felt like it was burning holes in my skin. He had large tattoos up his arms and long hair wrapped in a bun. He looked down at me. "So, you were with Do-hwan, weren't you?" I looked back at him and answered, Yeah? What about it? Who are you?" He lifted his arm and leaned on the wall behind me, bringing himself closer. That little prick owes me, yet here he is, playing around, having the time of his life. I didn't know what this guy was talking about. Obviously, there was something going on between him and Do-hwan, but I didn't know what it was, nor did I want to get involved. I sighed and glanced back at him. "Look, I don't know what you're talking about." He smirked and looked down at me. "Is that so? Well then, I could help you to understand exactly what I'm..." His voice was cut off by another. "Hey, leave her alone!" I could feel relief washing over me as someone else had finally shown up. I looked over to see who it was. He was handsome. His hair was jet black, which caused his blue eyes to stand out strikingly. He was tall and had a muscular frame. I'd never seen him before, so it surprised me that a stranger would get involved. The guy who had me pinned against the wall turned to see the newcomer. I could tell he was agitated. "Yeah, you got a problem?" The other guy walked forward. I do, actually. What business do you have antagonizing her? What's it to you? It doesn't concern you. Now beat it. The man with the piercing blue eyes stepped forward again, standing his ground. I'm not going anywhere. The man with tattoos let out an exasperated sigh. I don't have time for this. He turned back and looked at me. Don't think this is over. I will get what I'm owed. With that, he turned and left. I let out a sigh of relief. I had enough drama going on in my life. I didn't need any more. I had almost forgotten about the other guy when he suddenly spoke up. Excuse me, but are you all right? I looked up and met his concerned gaze. I could instantly feel myself getting flustered. Yeah, I'm totally fine. Thank you for your help. Sorry to cause any trouble. I bowed to apologize and show my thanks. I quickly turned on my heel to leave. It wasn't any trouble at all. I just thought I should help. I heard him mumble. I turned one last time and bowed once more and ran off, leaving him scratching his head. Why was I so awkward? I shouldn't have just run off like that. I should have thanked him more, or at least found out his name. I panicked. Too much happened all at once, and for some reason, my heart is beating 1,000,000 miles an hour. I just need to finish getting what Mom needs and get back to the beach. Yoonah has finally gotten back with both Do-hwan and Min, so she's caught up with them at the cafe after that whole serious thing that just happened in the alley. And after stopping by, of course, the market and grabbing what her mom needed, she dropped it off at the house real quick and caught back up because thankfully everything's pretty local. Min has been over here just staring at the menu. She's agitated because she's been waiting forever for a barista to show up and they haven't. So she's getting a little angry and agitated, but you know, I get it. So anyways, not Min, Yoonah is sitting here and she's letting Do-hwan know, she's like, hey, so I kind of ran into some trouble a little bit. He's like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, there was some guy asking about you. And he's like, oh, whoa. So, some guy asking about me? She's like, yeah, he said that you owe him something. And he's like, can we talk about this later? Like, I really don't want to talk about this in front of Min. And she's like, yeah, I guess that's fine. We can do that. So, she understands that obviously he's into Min, so he's like not wanting her to know like everything. But look, I love how she's still just standing here and Baram is just back here doing his thing. But I did want to let you guys know, I guess we could always make something for our friend, right? For here or to go. Or we could just not worry about it. Let's just see if we can all come down here. We can. I love how Do-hwan just came out here to sunbathe. But let's build a sand sculpture. And it looks like Hanyul is done with school for the day. But so come on down here. Okay, so she's gonna come down here. Hopefully. Oh, where did Min go? Where did she go? Looks like our barista finally showed up. I don't know where our friend went. Did she go for a swim? I feel like she probably did. Oh, nope, she's in the study room in here. Okay, but what was I saying? Oh, I wanted to let you guys know that I played about one day off camera, honestly, and I was able to go ahead and get her promoted. So she got promoted from the head dishwasher to a caterer. And so, yeah, she is moving on up in the world. She's feeling really good and positive about it. And she also was she purchased a book so that she could study mixology. So she got to level 2 of mixology skill already. So she is doing really well. And once she gets her performance up, she can get another promotion. So I think things are going really well for her. And so, yeah, she is needing to hang out with Min so she can find out how things are going between her and Do-hwan because she's curious to know. I mean, she wants to know. She's like, what does my friend think of him? Like, obviously I know he likes her, but I need to know what she thinks of him. Like, look at her. She's so excited to find out. And Do-hwan's just back here doing his thing, taking deep breaths. Oh, but does he look happy? I think he looks happy. Let's see if can we take a closer look at his face? Do-hwan, how you feeling, boy? He's got a little smirk. Oh, look at that. He is so happy. He's like, is Min nearby? Is she checking out my muscles? She's looking at my tats. But oh snap. Oh, he's getting up now. So yeah, oh, he's gonna go for a swim. There he goes. And look at that, we made a gnome shark. So very fun. Okay, so he is just over here. He's in a pretty good mood, so I think things have gone well. So, oh, look, Min has finally come over here to talk with the barista. She's like, it's about time. Why were you late for your shift? Oh my gosh. Like, people want drinks around here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and come on over to chat with our bestie. We're like, hey, so how are things going with Do-hwan? And she's like, you know, he's a pretty funny guy. I think I do enjoy having him around. And she's like, oh, is that all? Anything else? She's like, oh, his tattoos are pretty interesting. Like, he said there's a story behind them all, but you know, he didn't want to get into it. And she's like, well, you know, I can get that. So she's like, anything else? And she's like, well, you know, I'd be lying if I told you. You were right. He is really cute. But I just don't know. You know how I am. Like, he's cute and everything, but I don't know. Is he serious boyfriend material? I'll have to kind of... Oh, she's got to stop talking. Here's Do-hwan. He's probably like, boyfriend material. Did I hear you say my name? But no, I think we're okay. But all right, I'm glad to see that things went really well with the friends. They all seem to be hanging out and doing really well, getting along. And Do-hwan, you just walking up in here in your swimsuit. You're just trying to get attention. I love how everyone is like crowding around this barista. He's like got this fake smile on. He's like, I'm here. I hate my job. Please, somebody take over for me. And, oh my gosh, this place is getting so crowded. But maybe we should have them all go down here and see if we can just have them swim together. I think that would be fun. And wow, this lionfish thing looks terrifying. I mean, aren't those like really poisonous in like real life? I think they are, if I remember correctly. But it looks like the sun is starting to set here. Oh, look, they're all going down on the ladder. But look how gorgeous it looks. Oh my gosh, I love this beautiful purple sky, the way the colors look on the water. Absolutely gorgeous. And there they go, all swimming around, just having a good old time. And I love that. Of course, Do-hwan's flirty. Of course he is. Look at him just chatting with me. And he's like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Thank you so much for inviting me. I couldn't have asked for anything more. So he is really happy to be here. It looks like Yoonah and Do-hwan are going off to chat for a second, and Min is just admiring the sunset. She's like, oh, I love life here in Sulani. It's just beautiful. Taking in the sights, the smell of the sea. It's definitely my thing. She's like, where'd those two get off to? I need to go find them. So let's see where they went. Oh, they're back up here. They're both going to this barista, aren't they? They're going to order some food. They thinking alike. He's like, yeah, you know, things I think are going pretty good. She's been laughing at all my jokes, you know, she seems intrigued by me, but, you know, I'm not going to go too fast with it. I don't want to scare her away. And so Yoonah's like, okay, sure, Do-hwan, sure. But yeah, looks like she's meeting with one of the neighbors, Dan-bi-gwan over here. So they are just chatting it up. But it is starting to get later, so we are going to have to head back to our house, see what our family is up to. And this swimsuit is seriously just so cute on her. I just really love it. We are back at the house, and of course, Yoonah has to use the bathroom super bad. So, okay, good. She's going to go ahead and take care of it. And our dad is just out here grilling up some grub because he is just always hungry. He's making some pinchos, and we have Baram is running off again. And Hanyul, how did she do today? I think, oh yeah, that's right. She was actually able to get her grade up to a B. So needless to say, their mother is very pleased because grades are incredibly important. She's in here chatting with Hanyul. She's like, honey, I'm so proud of you. Good work on working on all your schoolwork. I know we've had our struggles with it, but you know, a B is much better than a C. I can be much more proud of that. So keep working hard. I'd like to see you get an A. And Hanyul's like, yeah, I know, Mom. Please, you don't have to keep reminding me. And then her mom's Soa's over here like, oh, Yoonah, honey, don't forget, I'm working on getting you another date. And she's like, oh, great. Thanks, Mom, for the reminder. I was hoping that you wouldn't remember. And so, yeah, she's always getting a little agitated. But see, look, her mom's like, honey, well, you can't just spend all day at the beach and hanging out with friends. Yoonah likes complaints. Yoonah actually enjoyed hearing Soa vent all of her frustrations just now. Complaining can be healing. I mean, sure, I guess she's okay with it. But her mom, she's like, honey, seriously, like, I'm glad that you're hanging out with your friends and having a good time, but, you know, you need to still think about commitments. And she's like, Mom, I'm trying to figure out my life right now. And like, I know you want me to just jump into a serious relationship, but those things take time. And so her mom's just like, honey, you'll know when you know. And don't be afraid of heartbreak. It's just all part of the journey. And she's like, Mom, heartbreak, that's not what I'm afraid of or worried about. So anyways, look, her sister straight went to bed. She's like, I can't handle all of this tension in this household, so I'm just going to go to sleep. Which, girl, you know, I feel that. And when do we have work? We have it in 2 days, so we still have off tomorrow, which is perfect because that way we can go hang out with Do-hwan. We'll probably go over to that spot that he likes and chat it up to see what is that whole situation with that one guy. And, you know, we need to figure out what's going on. Oh, look at our parents out here making out. I don't know why her dad always puts the food out here on the ground. But all right, well, I'm going to get everyone ready for bed and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. Both Soa and Yoonah are out here this morning having some mother-daughter time, just doing some nice morning meditation because it is a beautiful day. The weather is sunny and warm and it's supposed to be that way all day. So they are just enjoying it because there is no better time at the beach than like in the early morning or in the evening when it feels amazing. So, oh, it looks like Yoonah's reached level 2 of the wellness skills, so she can discuss cognitive focusing methods and bake sugar-free carob coconut cake, and she can perform the boat pose in yoga, teach yoga class, host guided meditation, and 10 massage tables and massage chairs. So that is fantastic. Looks like Hanyul is coming out to chat with them. She's like, oh my gosh, are you guys both doing this? Are you going to do it all morning? And they're like, aren't you heading off to school? She's like, yeah, I do have that soon. So Yoonah is trying to just relax because she is going to be spending time with Do-hwan later this morning to find out the story about what's going on and tell him all the details about what happened because he doesn't know the full story. So yeah, we've got to do that. And our dad is off fishing early morning. He left at like 5:30 this morning. So anyways, I guess we will fast forward. Oh, it is the lottery, but I've never had a sim win the lottery, so I feel like we're not even going to worry about that. I'm just going to end it because I just don't really care. That's not really prevalent to this legacy, so we're going to move on. And poor Param, he just wants somebody to play with him. Yoonah has arrived at Do-hwan's favorite spot now, and so they are just sitting here chatting. She is trying to let him know about everything that happened. So he's like, okay, well, tell me what it was that went down. So she's like, well, you know, what happened is, so I went to go get some things from the market like my mom had asked, and I went down one of the alleys and some guy just stopped me and told me that he saw me with you, and then just said that he never told me his name, but he said that you owed him something. And he's like, that I owed him something. And he's like, oh yeah, I think I know exactly who you're talking about. His name is Colt Young, and he's like, let me just give you a short version of the long story. He's like, basically, so I used to be in a group and they used to kind of get into trouble, and I decided to break out of it. And when I did, I'd borrowed some money, and before I left, I hadn't paid it back. So he's basically probably coming after you, trying to get to me because he wants the money back. And he's like, I haven't managed to really even come close to paying back what I need to. And she's like, oh, well, that sounds like a serious situation. Are you going to be okay? And look at him just over here, just sailing around, not even talking to me. Like, she's just over here talking to herself. Can they both be on this? Or is it just one? I guess it's just one person. Of course it is. Of course it is. Maybe I can have them at least swim here together so that way they're doing something together, you know, and they're not just separated. Or he could just not and keep floating around. But anyways, we can pretend he's over here because, you know, it's The Sims. And pretend that they're chatting. So, yeah, basically, so where we were at. So the guy is coming, this cult guy is coming to try to get his money back. And so she's like, well, is there anything I can do to help? He's like, well, I mean, I don't want to put it on you. It's not your problem, it's mine. But I don't want him involving you with me. And he's like, and if he starts getting Min involved too. And she's like, yeah, that's true. So he's like, we'll have to kind of put our heads together, maybe see if we can figure out something. He's like, I have been working part-time, so maybe I can try to get some more money. She's like, well, maybe I could try to help too, you know, do something. And so he appreciates it, but he doesn't want her to have to pay any of his debt. Like, he knows that that's not really right. And so, yeah, but he basically has asked her to promise not to tell Min, because that is the last thing that he wants, is to have Min know about all of these things, because it doesn't work that way. Like, he doesn't want her to know his problems or know anything about his past, really. Like, he wants to just leave her out of that. He doesn't want to scare her away because he's just now starting to get to know her, which, you know, I can totally get, because I mean, when you're trying to meet someone new. And so she's like, fine, I promise I won't tell her. She's like, I'm going to tell her that something happened, but I won't tell her it's anything involving you. And he's like, you know, thanks, Yoonah. I really appreciate it and how you listen to me. I love how she's looking at her cell phone in the water. It's definitely waterproof. But yeah, so he's just like, you know, just try to stay away from him. If you see him, go the other way. And he's like, but wait a second, you didn't tell me. How'd you get out of it? And she's like, well, actually, some guy just, oh my gosh, he decided to just start swimming nude. Of course he did. He's like, don't look down. And she's like, I won't, trust me. But she's like, well, actually, some guy showed up and he helped me. And he's like, some guy? Who? And she's like, I don't know. I didn't get his name. I thanked him and I kind of just ran off. I was just kind of blown away by everything that just happened and confused. And so I literally just left. He's like, oh, well, that's a way to be extra grateful. She's like, I know, shut up, Do-hwan. I'm aware of it. Okay. You don't have to remind me. But it's not awkward at all that he's just sitting here floating naked. But we're going to pretend that, wow, that is a really, really big fish back there. But we're just going to pretend that he's not floating here with a blurry blob, or that maybe the salt water is just really cloudy and you can't see anything. But anyways, so I think we're going to head back because it is lunchtime and get something to eat at our house, and then we'll probably go and visit with Min. Yoonah is back at the beach. She already headed home and had a quick bite to eat with her mom, and now she is here with Min. So she's like, hey, so sorry about the other day, or yesterday, I guess, and how, you know, I had to leave to help my mom out. And she's like, yeah, so what happened? Tell me the whole situation. Like, you said that something happened and you ran into a little bit of trouble. She's like, yeah, basically, some guy was asking me about someone he thought that I knew, and he's looking for him. And she's like, oh, really? Did they say the name? She's like, no, I have no idea who he was talking about. She's like, oh, well, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. So actually, just when I was starting to get a little nervous, this guy showed up. And she's like, a guy? She's like, yeah, someone I've never seen before. She's like, ooh, really? Tell me more. And Yoonah's like, well, okay. She's like, I have to tell you, I mean, he was so cute. Like, he was seriously like one of the most handsome people I have ever seen in my life. Like, his hair was just jet black and he had these gorgeous blue eyes and he had like the perfect body frame. It was just amazing. And she's like, well, what was his name? She's like, that's the funny part. I didn't ask. I was just so flustered that I just turned around and left. And she's like, oh my gosh, Yoonah, seriously? That is so you. Like, why did you do that? Like, you could have found out his name, honey. And oh my gosh, Do-hwan, of course you followed us here. He's like, I heard Min was gonna be here. So he's literally coming over just to hang out. That is hilarious. Okay, Do-hwan, we're trying to chat. We're having girl talk here. And she's like, well, what are you going to do if you run into him again? She's like, I don't know. I've never seen him before, so I can't imagine that I would just run into him. Like, I don't know if he's from out of town or what. And Mina is just like, oh my gosh, Yoonah, do you actually have a crush on someone? She's like, I don't think it's a crush. I mean, I don't even know who he is. I don't know his name. But I mean, he was super cute. Like, I'm not going to deny that. And she's like, oh, well, what if you do run into him again? She's like, well, then I guess I'll find out what his name is. But I'm not going to think that something like that's going to happen. I mean, the chances of that seem pretty slim. She's like, true, but that's too bad. But at least you can daydream about a handsome stranger saving you. Means like, I love myself a good romance. Oh, so cute. Here comes Do-hwan. He's like, oh, I see that Yoonah left. It's my chance. Yep, here he comes. Look at her. She's checking him out in his little swimsuit. He's walking by hoping to get her attention. That is so funny. Like, seriously. But yeah, so Yoonah, oh, she had to grab a drink, but she is back now. We can continue chatting with our bestie here. She's like, also, I did want to tell you, my mom, oh my gosh, we have a floating glass. She's like, what else? And she's like, well, my mom told me that, yes, she has another date for me. And she's like, of course she does. Oh, when is your mom going to stop? She's like, I have no idea, but I hope it's soon because seriously, this is so dumb. Like, this will be number 3. Are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, your mom's going at this pretty hard. She's like, yeah, I'm probably going to have to see if I can strike a deal with her or something because I can't deal with this. And Mean's like, girl, I don't even blame you. And so I love that they're having such a good time just having some girl talk and chatting. So yeah, we are just gonna keep on hanging out, I think, for a bit. I think our dad, is he still at work? I think he should be home by now. And is that Hakun Wong? Hakun Wong, look at him. Look at his smile. Like, it looks a little creepy. Like, it looks totally fake. Like, he's just suffering to smile. He's like, oh, that's that Yoonah girl. There she is. Look, she's like looking right at him. She's like, that's what they're doing, guys. They're fake smiling at each other. He's like, oh, hey. And she's like, oh, yeah, hey, good to see you, but not. Because they both know that neither one of them cared for the other one. And so, she's over here. She's just going into some dramatic story and telling her about something she saw on TV last night. And anyways, look, yeah, they're thinking, she's like, that's Hakun Wong? She's like, yeah. She's like, well, girl, he's pretty cute. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, his personality makes him pretty unattractive. So she loves that her bestie just always seems to get her. So yeah. But all right, I think we're going to go ahead and just have her tan maybe for a little bit. We'll just relax, I think, on this towel. I think that would be nice, relaxing this pretty tropical one. Take some deep breaths, meditate a little bit. And I mean, Yoonah, she is feeling kind of upset with herself, you know, like she's like, why did I not ask that guy for his name? Why did I not do that? Like, I am so dumb sometimes. Like, I should have asked. Now I'm just sitting here thinking about him. Like, she can't get his beautiful blue eyes off of her mind. Oh, but you know, she's never seen a man so beautiful in her life. And look at her cute little sandals and her painted toes and her fingernails. Girl, you so cute. But I think we do need to get her on home. She does have work tomorrow. So what is her shift? 3 to 11. That's right, because she's catering events now. So she probably has some big party or something that she has to go to tomorrow. So, and she is wanting to discuss some fine cuisine, but I figure we could have her try to make something new tonight or bake something she hasn't baked before, because we are at, cooking level 6 already. Wow. And then we have we done baking? We haven't done baking or gourmet cooking. So maybe something that we haven't tried yet. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get back. We're back at the house, and OMG, look how adorable Hanul looks in her little outfit. Loving that. And girl, did we not get you to shave your legs? I swear I turned the hair growth off on her, but apparently it's not working. So I'll have to go back into cast to make sure I selected it, because apparently it just didn't take. But anyway, so it looks like our dad is home from his fishing trip, and he always comes back needing to take a shower. So let's get him out of that because we don't want the house to smell like fish. I imagine that would be quite unpleasant. And oh, look, Hanyul's out here trying to help her mom out. She's like, honey, you're making a mess. You're getting water everywhere. She's like, Mom, just be glad I'm even out here helping you. Like, you know how much I hate doing this. Like, why can't we just buy an actual washing machine? Like, all my friends have those. She's like, honey, why do that and waste money on it when we can just actually do it ourselves by hand? And it looks like we acquired the baking skill. So her skill will allow her to combine butter, sugar, and other ingredients into tasty bites that please taste buds and expand waistlines. I thought we already had the baking skill, but I guess maybe we didn't. Oh wait, I'm on her dad. So yeah, there we go. So we are on baking skill 1. And so I don't think we can actually do gourmet cooking until we build up our skills more, which that's okay. We will get there slowly but surely. So she has made some plain muffins for everybody. She's going to go and use the bathroom. Her mom is busy in here. She cannot handle a dirty house. So thank goodness for her. We love you, Soa. Thank you for all of your cleaning. Your sacrifices are appreciated. And it looks like her dad is already headed off to sleep because he does leave at like 5 a.m. to go out and catch the fish nice and early. So yeah, that has to happen. And look, I love how her mom wants to chat with Do-hwan. She wants to know more about that date just to make sure that they're really just friends. She's so curious about it. And oh, what is going on with you, Hanyul? List an outfit on Trendy. She wants to kiss someone. Of course she does. Of course she does. But anyways, I'm glad we were able to make something for our family. So, oh, look at her. She's just crying watching this TV show. Yoonah has come out because she was trying to help out Hanyul, and now her mom has decided to come on over here to chat with her. She's like, honey, let me give you some details, okay? So tomorrow at lunch, she's like, tomorrow at lunch? What do you mean? And she's like, well, don't you not start your shart? Did I say shart? Don't you not start your shift until 3 o'clock for the catering? And she's like, well, yeah, but she's like, well, at noon tomorrow, I've already scheduled you. You're going to have a date with a young man. He's a very nice gentleman. I have actually met him before, so I think you'll get along with him really, really well. And of course, here's Do-hwan calling us. Oh, I'm glad you didn't go on a date with Myungpan because you know what? She is actually pregnant, so that'd be awkward. But anyways, so Yoonah's like, are you kidding me, Mom? She's like, yes. I mean, no, I'm not kidding you, but I'm serious in that you're going to be going on this date. And she's like, but Mom, like, why do you keep doing this? Like, can't you cut it out? And she's like, honey, okay, how about this? If you go on this one more date tomorrow, I promise I'll take a break from setting you up for a while and let you just do your thing. And she's like, you promise, Mom? This is the last one? She's like, yes. For at least a little while. And she's like, fine, Mom, fine. So they have come to an agreement, which she's relieved about. So she's like, I'm already planning basically on this not working out. So, we'll have to just see what happens there. But this poor girl, she is so stressed out. Now she's like, okay, great. So I've already got my first big catering event tomorrow. But now on top of that, I've got to go on some awkward date with some guy that Mom set me up with again. And so she's talking to her sister. Hanyul's like, oh, sis, you'll be fine. She's like, plus, if he's cute, let me know and give me his number because I really want to kiss someone. I want to get my first kiss. And then Yoonah's like, oh my gosh, my sister is so different from me. She's just the opposite. Like she said, she wouldn't mind being in a relationship, but she wants it to be real. She wants them, but she's just never experienced like full on attraction to someone. Like she thinks people are cute, but that's about it. Like, but then this one guy, the one with the beautiful blue eyes. She's like, I mean, he was cute, but she knows nothing about his personality other than that he tried to save her. And, it did kind of woo her a little bit. But also, I wanted to show you guys, her dad had caught this swordfish, and so he had it mounted in the house. So he's very, very proud of it. But anyway, so I'm going to get these guys all ready for bed and for a good day tomorrow, I hope. Let's see what the weather is looking like. Looks like we're supposed to have a nice sunny day, which is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you so much, Tater Tots, for joining me. This was such a fun one. I had a blast creating the intro video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. And wow, Chinhei, that is a big platter, just saying. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens on this blind date, and will she ever see the other guy again? We're gonna have to just wait and find out. So if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the future episodes, and don't forget to hit that like button. It helps my channel out a lot, and it helps me to know that you guys are liking my content. And go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Are you excited for the next ones? What do you think of the mysterious stranger who saved her? And what do you guys think about Do-hwan and Min? I think that they're really cute. So we're just gonna have to see what unravels or unfolds, I guess not unravels, but unfolds with their relationship. So thank you once again, Tater Tots, and I will catch you next time. See ya!